Hello everyone, I am Jay Surya. My oral presentation topic is dialysis machine. Let's go to the presentation starts. This is the my model. This is the model for first. Its most expensive model is a Fresenius. Its model number is 4008S, and it's the most technological machine in the present world. Next, go to the procedures. Enter into the topics. First of all, introductions. Hemodialysis. It means it removes the waste and water by the circulating blood through the external filter called dialyzer. It contains semi-permeable membrane. The blood it flows one direction to the another direction. The dialysis flows opposite direction. The current flow of the blood is maximize the concentration of the solutes between the blood and disalate. It helps to remove the more urea and creatinine from the blood. And then the concentration of the solute, for example potassium, phosphorus, etc., are high in the blood but low in the absence of the dialysis solutions. The dialysis solutions at the level of the minerals like potassium, calcium, similar to the natural concentration in healthy blood. Then next, the purpose of the dialysis machines. The main purpose is when the nephron in the kidney failure for humans are not working properly in the age below the persons. The ions like potassium, creatinine, and etc. will go through the dialysis. Some disease of renal failures are hypertension, nephropathy, cystic kidney diseases, etc. Then, what is mean by hemodialysis? It means hemo means blood, dialysis means diffusion of the solid molecules, so the semi-permeable membrane. Hemodialysis, also called hemodialysis, and also commonly called kidney dialysis. Next, principle of the dialysis machines, how it works and which principle is going to the proceed. The main principle is of the hemodialysis. It involves a dilution of the solutes across the semi-permeable membrane. It involves diffusions, osmosis, ultrafiltration method can be proceed in the dialysis machines. Then descriptions of the dialysis machines. Dialysis machines across the semi-permeable membrane allows only certain molecules to pass through the person's blood vessels. It can to remove the waste from the blood and time to correct the level of the electrolytes in the blood. Then the surgery connect the radial artery in the forearm to a large vein called cephalic vein. This connection is called arteriovenous shunt. This shunt carries some blood from one place to another place in the human bodies. In this case, the blood carries from the artery to the vein. After the shunt is made, the veins can form to the big, and eventually it can of the forearm to form the muscles in the walls like arteries. Next, have a front view of the dialysis machines. First of all, one is monitor, 2 is blood pressure curve, 3 is extracorporeal blood circuit, concentrate connectors, 4 is concentrate connectors, 5th one is breaker, 6th one is shunt interlock for the dialysis connecting lines, 7th one is fourth pole status indicator. Next, these are the front view of the front the parts of the Fresenius machines of the dialysis. It's a back view of that machines. First, generally first monitor sample values, bracket for the dialysis connections lines, etc., etc., filters, ADS train. These are all the back view of parts of the dialysis machines. Next, these parts how could be functions. Dialysis machine. First of all, a dialysis machine's blood pump and tubing. This material how it functions to be is simply called pumps to the blood from the body into the machines. Syringe. This syringe contains heparin. Next, dialysis, which is used for the cleaning of the blood taken place. Alarms, it can be useful for the alarming section of the blood pressure within the machine, or blood pressure of the patient with the excess amount of the blood can be traveled and more tensions, and it, it it leads to the high BP. Then go to the alarms are on, and then temperature rises in the patients. That time also we will alarm on automatically. Then go to the pressure monitor. It is two types of monitor: arterial pressure monitor, a venous pressure monitor. It detects a pressure between a blood to the blood and a blood pump. A venous monitor, it detects positive pressures. Air leakage detector, it detects the purpose of the avoiding air embolus. Data interface includes USB Ethernet variety of the serial interface to the hospital information system. It can also direct connection for the hospital wireless networks. Valves, there are several valves. It can be needed for the machine to the allow for the variable mixing ratios. Sensors which are used for the to sensing the patient from the how patient would be good or bad. Example, blood pressure at various points in the extraoral circuit, diastolic pressure, etc. This is the procedure to the how it can be connected to the patient to the dialysis machines. This is saline solutions, fresh dialysis used dialysate inflow pressure monitor, blood pump, dialysis machines, venous pressure monitor, air drop, clean blood patients, etc. This is the how to proceed the patient connected to the dialysis machine in step-by-step procedure. First of all, dialysis procedure done to the patient. The patient should get ready for the another new patient. We should clean the disposal tubing for day to day with the use of sterilizing fluid. Then patient are parameters like weight. It can be measured, the weight, blood pressure, temperature are measured. For we have to connect the veins of arms and legs. For the catheterizing procedure, we have to connect large veins, chest. Hemodialysis is under process. Periodically, half an hour blood pressure can be taken. The amount of fluid removed to the set by the dialysis according to the estimated dry weight. Procedure next point, procedure time of the end. The patient is disconnected from the dialysis machines, and then go to the first aid and close the holes from the bandage in the blood vessels to stop the bleeding. Temperature, standing, sitting, the blood pressures. It may indicate infection and BP above, etc. Care staff verifies the patient is to condition is for leaving, or a patient must be able to stand and to maintain a reasonable blood pressure can be coherent. These are the main advantage of the dialysis machines. Main is a low mortality rate, less diet restrictions, better control of the blood pressure and abnormal cramps, etc. These are all the disadvantage of the dialysis machines. The procedure complicated and gives the more knowledge. It requires the time to set up clean dialysis machines. Very complicated, and it's very expensive. Suppose you have not operated skilled operated persons, not skilled operated persons if not proper if not properly worked in the admissions, admissions can be failure. Several issues can be taken, done, etc. That's all about dialysis missions. Hmm, Thank you.